There are areas in life where women absolutely have it easier than men. You bring up things like the draft, right? Or expecting to stay home and work or whatever. But there are other things where men have it way easier too. When we talk about legislation, for instance, that like favors man over women, the easiest thing I can think of in the United States is abortion. If men got pregnant, you could get an abortion on every gas station corner block in the United States with no questions asked, guaranteed. But because it's a woman's issue, we talk about it in a way different light.
It's free up to 6 months here.
I'm
up to 6 months.
Hold on. Oh my God. Wait, is my mic on? Mm-hmm. Okay, because I thought I said in America, and you just totally ignored that. And we're both Americans, so I don't know why you said that. Okay, yeah. So I'm just. I don't know why you brought up London.
I'm being
because
polite.
you did that. No, you were being polite. You totally just pivoted. You accused her of being bad faith.
But I'm being very polite. I've been polite to you the whole time.
Sure. Well, you just accused her of being bad faith, and I said in America, that's an example of a law. And then you're like, well, here in London, I don't know what it is here in the UK. Men can turn their lives around way easier than a woman can, right? Like a guy can go through all sorts of stuff, be in jail, people, get shot, do all these things, and at 35 come out like a reformed guy, okay? A woman gets pregnant at 24 and now she's got too much mileage for any guy in here to ever want to f*** with. So I think there's just different ways.
There'll always be a simp. There'll always be a simp. Oh, no.
Why is that a simp?
Okay, then there'll always be a simp. Like, look, you did it right there. You couldn't even give that little bit. You couldn't even give that little bit.
Single mothers get married all the time.
Being a single mother sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody here agrees it. So why even say that?
But most single mothers can still date an average guy.
Yeah, and most average guys still date average women. You can't even admit that, and it's true. It's true.
Or are you taking a Chuck Schumer defense?
No, I think if a pardon is going to exist as a presidential power, I think this is the perfect time to use it.
Really? Even when you've told the world repeatedly, I'm not going to do that?
If Biden made a mistake, it was to say that he wasn't going to do it.
You think?
Especially after seeing the nomination of people like Kash Patel, I think it is absolutely in good prudence to use it here rather than allow Hunter Biden to be the subject of infinite investigations for the next 4 years of Trump's presidency.
You mean how the liberals put Trump through all the criminal investigations?
Well, no, because Trump has criminal immunity from the Supreme Court and all of his federal court cases are now dismissed. And the case in New York never had a sentencing and probably won't get one. So, no, they wouldn't be the same thing.
Inside, you must be hurting because what Joe Biden has done with one flick of his pen is he has taken away all the high moral ground that the Democrats could have had against Trump for the next 4 years.
What has the moral high ground gotten the Democrats up to this point? There's no point in engaging in norms when only one side upholds the norms. And to sit here, you want to talk about a farce, to pretend that Donald Trump's future pardon decisions are going to be based on who Biden decides to pardon is hilariously stupid. And if you want to talk about pardons, something that you never will hear, why not talk about some of Trump's pardons? How much time do we give to the pardon of Bannon or Stone, who is pardoned for crimes that were literally relating to covering up other crimes from Donald Trump?
Destiny?
How many people care about that? Nobody. Where's the accountability for that? Nowhere.
You know
and
the
what's
difference?
The result of those investigations? They're all canceled. So
you know the difference?
No, I don't want to hear anything about Hunter Biden's pardon. It's a joke.
How many days in prison did Stone and Bannon and those guys do?
I'm pretty sure. Didn't Stone get clemency before he ever stepped foot in prison?
Natural extension of the thing Trump and the MAGA kids support. So I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt enough to chastise people celebrating it. You couldn't find it in your heart to chastise people for celebrating the near assassination of a man who was president of the United States and maybe again?
Absolutely not. Conservatives have completely bled that well dry. And the idea that they, after engaging in the most divisive and most extreme rhetoric that this country has seen in recent history, that they would come on and beg for sympathy, that it's escalated into some kind of violent confrontation is absolutely insane. Even the idea right now of saying, well, if you call somebody a Nazi for so long, it's, what do you expect people to do? I grew up listening to Rush Limbaugh call Obama a communist every single day he was on the radio. You've got conservatives that talk about how the mRNA vaccines were ways to sneak microchips into us. You've got COVID lockdowns that were done because the government was trying to take all your freedom away. They won't acknowledge anything that happened on January 6th. They say that the election was stolen and that your country is being taken from you. I don't think anybody should be killed. I don't think anybody should go out and kill anybody. But when you engage in this type of rhetoric and when you turn the temperature up over and over and over and over again, there is absolutely no room for you to be shocked or surprised. And there certainly isn't room for you to ask for sympathy.
But Destiny, you say you don't want anybody killed. And yet you say, I don't think I have much sympathy about the attempt to chastise people celebrating it. It's people celebrating the near assassination of Donald Trump. If you can't find it in you to chastise people who do that, aren't you just as despicable as the people you've just spent the last 2 minutes haranguing?
No, because they've led the way. This is the environment that they've created.
So you think behaving like the people you think are despicable is the correct course of action?
not about behaving like the people who are despicable would be leading that type of rhetoric. It would be denying every single bad thing. How many times as a liberal? How many times as a liberal have you been on a show? Not you in general, but like a liberal been on a show and you've been forced to disavow all of the BLM riots, disavow all of the violence, and blah blah blah. And then you talk to conservatives about it. January 6th, violence. That was that's good. Flag. Yeah. January 6th. Oh, like conservatives disavow January 6th?
Wait. First off, there's an entire cultural machine that has lied. There is an entire
we just
cultural.
Saw it in real time. That's it.
What?
That's why conservatives deserve absolutely zero sympathy for anything that happens as a result of their rhetoric. That's it. It's so easy. Like it's so simple.
Okay, but I'm not exactly sure what he's talking about, but I would say this is the type of person that the internet has broke their brain, thus leaving them with very little empathy for their co-human. I mean, a good, decent father is now dead because of this. He's had his brains blown out because he was defending his wife and daughter. I would hope that you have a little empathy for that.
Let me jump in there because we have a clip of what Destiny has said about that very thing. Let's listen to this.
Fuck it. Fuck the dude, the firefighter guy. Fuck Trump. Fuck the people that support him. I just want you to know, okay, just in case you're confused or it seems like I'm, whatever. If one of you were in the crowd and you're a conservative fan of mine and you end up, getting blown away or whatever the fuck, I'm making fun of you the next day on Twitter. I am 100%.
I mean, I got to say, I just found that repulsive, Destiny.
I wish that there is no room. There is no room for the hand wringing, and I will not participate in this anymore.
Oh, it's not hand wringing.
In the hand wringing. No, it absolutely is.
No, it's just that you are positioning yourself.
So well.
No, but Destiny, let me explain to you.
Where conservatives can say anything.
No, I'm not a conservative.
They can have any conspiracy theory.
I'm not a conservative.
They can have any plot. They can do any of these things, and then liberals are supposed to sit here and be like, "Oh my God, it's so tragic."
No, Destiny.
Absolutely not.
Let me explain my position because I'm not a conservative. I'm not on either side in your race, right? Here's what I think about what you did. You'd like to fire off, as you've done so far in this debate, about your fury at how disgusting Republicans are, how inhumane they are, how they never have any empathy, blah, 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 blah. And then you yourself actually are exactly the person that you're describing. You are inhuman. You are somebody who seems almost gleeful that a young firefighter with a family, with a wife and children, who he was protecting as he was shot dead, that he deserved what was coming to him because he went to a President Trump rally, a man who was president of the United States until recently for 4 years and maybe again. You sound almost gleeful, Destin, and I'm sorry, that makes you, frankly, despicable.
I don't think I'm gleeful about anything. I don't think anybody should die. I don't think anybody deserves to die. But you want to talk about gleeful? Look at the conservative response to Pelosi's husband when they broke in.
I can answer that.
Mainstream media figures
I can answer that.
I don't care.
I can answer that.
With all due respect, I don't care what your answer is.
Let me answer that.
The reality is that conservatives have been turning the temperature up on the rhetoric. They have been making fun of these types of events for years. And now when something happens to them, now they're looking for sympathy from the liberal side? Absolutely not. It's insane. It's unhinged that you can conduct yourself in such a manner and expect people to feel sorry when things happen.
Why should anybody on the right listen to a word of your hectoring and lecturing about how they should behave? And by the way, for the record, the mockery of Nancy Pelosi's husband when he was attacked by an intruder with a hammer was also despicable, right? I can see despicable behavior on all sides, and I'm happy to call it out when I see it. You, however, want to present yourself as this great kind of standard bearer of decency who sees outrageous behavior on the right time and again and is incensed by this disgusting, inhumane behavior. And yet time and again, since the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you have displayed exactly the same kind of inhumane behavior. Fuck him about a fireman who is killed because he attends a rally of a guy he wants to vote for.
My issue with the MAGA kids is not that they are not empathetic. My issue is that they support a president that led an insurrection against the United States. I'm not here to tone police over their empathy.
80 million people voted for Donald Trump last time around.
That's great. 80 million people voted for a guy that tried to insurrect the government, and it looks like they might try to do it again. I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. These are the facts on the ground. The idea that
you don't like attacks on democracy. So presumably you would unreservedly condemn the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, because that's one of the most egregious attacks on American democracy of modern times. Presumably, you will take this opportunity, given you are so determined to protect the integrity of democracy, you would find it absolutely outrageous that someone has tried to assassinate a president, right?
if the other conservatives on this show want to say that it was absolutely outrageous that Donald Trump attempted to coup the government, then maybe I would. Yeah, no, I'm not going to get on my knees and beg for forgiveness or show sympathy to conservatives.
I'm not asking for that. I'm asking you to condemn what happened as an egregious attack on democracy. Can you do that?
No, I won't. I won't.
You can't do that. You see, so why the hell, frankly, Destiny,
absolutely not.
Why the hell should we listen to a word you have to say about...
Why do you think conservatives haven't been listening to a word that liberals have said about anything for 8 years?
Right,
what do you think is going to change?
They?
You think if liberals come out now and they go, oh my God, this was so horrible,
here's
they're
my
going to go,
point.
wow, that is true. Maybe that should also
Charlie, I'll bring you in at the end of this, I promise you, and you'll get a good chance to respond. But here's my problem, Destiny, with your whole position on this, right? Side to have. You don't have any of the empathy. You don't have any sympathy. You don't care that someone tried to assassinate Donald Trump. You don't care that a young fireman with a family was killed in the process. You don't actually. You are not the person you want these other people to be. And all you do is play whataboutery with every question I give you. And I'm just startled.
It's not what about it? We're talking about Donald Trump. We're talking about the temperature of this country. But here's a question for the two panelists. What percentage of this event happening was due to Donald Trump's rhetoric? What do they think the answer to that question is?
What percentage could it be that the other side...
Destroy woke streamer Destiny after he tries to call her out as a liar for saying that she came from a poor family. Watch how Candace handles this.
Sitting down with Hose on the whatever podcast, and you were being so rude to that lady that made the TikTok. Oh my God. Okay. But the point is that you then went through
You called her a bitch.
You then went through this video and just tried to justify these lifestyles, right?
I don't think I was trying to justify the lifestyle. What I was doing was I was fighting it back against the insane judgment from one side to the other. We live in America. People should be able to live the lifestyles they want. As long as they're not harming other people, I think everybody has the right to pursue that.
And I just want to say to people that are watching this, to anybody that you follow, literally, you should take a measure and really ask yourself whether or not that person is telling you that stuff because they believe it, or whether or not that person is telling you something that ultimately it feels good because then it means that you can remove yourself from responsibility. Oh, I see. Yeah, it's fine. I can be a hoe, whatever, but is going to lead you to misery. Right. And so I tell people, I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot. I've lived through a lot. Very proud of myself where I've ended up. And I'm trying to provide people the shortcuts. And I'm trying to tell you that, yes, I understand that as a young woman, if you jump onto OnlyFans, you can make money. And you can make money very quickly. But I am also telling you that if you do that, you will, the overwhelming majority of people, can you find an exception? Sure, will regret that sort of a lifestyle.
I think I'd probably agree with you.
To these young people that are listening to you doing the YOLO, if it makes you happy, don't. I am telling you, throw this out. It is trash.
I agree. You shouldn't do OnlyFans as a young person. You should not be
aspiring to
you shouldn't do OnlyFans as a young person.
Relationships.
You should go to college and get a degree instead.
Somebody that's just holding up a mirror to tell you that you're great and you're doing amazing. You don't need that. You're not great. You can do better, right? Your life is worth more. There are rules that work. College is every single person that I went to school with is not using the degrees that they paid for.
What did you go to college for?
Journalism.
Isn't that what you're doing right now?
What do you mean?
Journalism stuff?
You probably don't know my backstory. So because my family was poor, I had to take out loans to go to school. My mom didn't even graduate high school. So
wait, why? If your family's poor, why would you have to take out loans to go to school?
What? I just told you.
If your family's poor, why would you have to take out loans to go to school?
Why would I have to take out loans to go to... What do you mean? I have to take out loans my family can't afford to pay to put me through school.
Hold on. Was your family actually poor, or did you just lie?
What are you talking about?
If you go to school and your family has a low gross income, you fill out the FAFSA. And the FAFSA is going to award you a ton of federal aid, assuming that you don't actually have the gross income from your parents to actually go to school. So if your parents are super poor, I don't know why you had to pay full out-of-state tuition to go to a university.
I did. Do you think? What do you mean? Did I lie?
I don't know how if your parents are poor, if they have a low gross income, how do you not qualify for the FAFSA?
Okay, well, all I can say to you is that I had to pay $35 almost. My school cost more, and by the end of it, and I'm also including because then I defaulted on my student loans and I had to pay it back. So now I had to pay back the bank for not being able to pay them on time.
So, something doesn't match up here.
Okay, well, I'm telling you the truth, so I don't know what to say.
Did you fill out a FAFSA?
Yeah, well, I also didn't have parents that could help me fill it out. I was a first-generation college student. My dad...
you didn't have a school... the same school counselor you told these people to ignore? You didn't talk to one of them and said, hey, can you help me fill out...
If you're trying to shame me for not doing things right...
I'm not trying to shame you. I'm just saying the background doesn't make any sense. I'm not shaming anything.
I don't get your point here. I'm telling you the truth. I have no reason to lie about this.
My point is you complain about having $100,000... About being
debt.
You told these people not to talk to counselors, and you said that your family was poor, so you went to school for journalism on an out-of-state tuition. You didn't fill out a FAFSA for any student aid. There's a ton of money there.
I'm just saying, like, what is your point in saying, am I lying about it? Like,
because I don't understand how you came from a poor family and didn't fill out a FAFSA and get a ton of student aid.
I did fill out FAFSA.
And they didn't give you anything?
I maybe got, in terms of I remember getting a Pell Grant that was like $8,000.
Okay.
But I'm telling the truth. So I just want to be clear. I'm telling the truth about my life. Like, I don't know what to say to you. And I don't get what was your question of saying, like, why did you take out a loan if you were poor? I don't understand that question. Like, I don't get it.
Because the implication is that if you filled out a FAFSA, your parents' gross income is used to heavily determine the amount of student aid that you'll qualify for. And if you're coming from an incredibly poor family, you usually get a ton of student aid.
Well, that's not what happened. Maybe that's circumstance. And please, guys, jump in the chat. Like, if somebody said, Destiny, that's stupid. I don't think they just give you free college.
Research you've done, since you're so well read on this topic, what do you think the solution would maybe be?
There has to be some sort of probably two-state solution with the United States mediating, where every other Arab country comes to the table.
Why do you think it should be the U.S.?
Because Israel needs somebody that's...
The U.S. is the great
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you wanted me to answer the question.
We're so popular.
If you think not the U.S., then give me another country. I'll wait. Tell me a country.
So I feel like that would just feel like further occupation for the Palestinians.
Okay, so if not the U.S. taking point on those negotiations, who should?
Honestly, I don't think any Western, European, majority white-ruled country would go over well with
Don't know what race has to do with this, but tell me who should then?
Not Netanyahu and not Biden. I don't think that's going to.
So you have no answers.
Do you think that the U.S. or Israel would be okay if, say, like, instead of the U.S. being the one, maybe it's like Iraq or Iran or Egypt or someone else? I think they would be maybe like, oh no, we don't like this.
Correct.
People who are on
That's
our
correct.
side to be the mediators.
Iraq and Iran and Egypt probably wouldn't be good people to be intermediaries for this agreement, because all three of those countries have gone to war trying to eliminate Israel at least 4 times. So, no, it probably wouldn't be good if they took point on those negotiations. Israel rightfully probably wouldn't be comfortable with them taking point on those negotiations.
Destiny, right now, would you like to apologize to Laken Riley's family for her murder, since it's open border Democrat policies that you promote on your program? Would you like to apologize to the parents of Laken Riley for the murder of her child?
The virtue signaling is off the charts. I didn't kill anybody, so I'm not going to apologize to anybody for somebody getting killed.
But there are
unfortunately, there are a lot of people that get killed in the United States for a large variety of reasons. If anybody gets killed, especially based on the background of this guy, this guy definitely should have been deported. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. But hey, listen, if you want the border stuff to be cleared up so much, why don't you tell Republicans to stop turning into a game in Congress and actually approve legislation to get more funding down for the border?
Okay.
Right now, it's Republicans who pulled the plug on that because Trump wants to maintain the one little bit of electoral advantage he might have, which is you guys trying to stir stuff up over the border. And it's funny also how you frame this all like, oh, they're trying to stop human smuggling. No, they're not. They're just trying to secure the border. Humans are going to be smuggled all over the place, regardless of whether it's into America or not. It's not like Trump actually cares about
Destiny, the truth.